Okay, so on yesterday, this is where we started, and I'm just gonna kind of go through just as a review of yesterday. I'm not gonna so much as stay on yesterday, but just gonna kind of go over what we did on yesterday. Okay, so in yesterday's lesson, we started off with this quote: necessity is the mother of invention. Okay. After we talked about that, we talked about the objectives, which was to distinguish between an intervention and an innovation. To identify the steps in developing an invention or an innovation using the product design, and recall at least one major event or invention or innovation by Thomas Edison. Our key terms include invention and innovation. And so we talked about what this actually meant. And so just basically yesterday, again, summarizing, this quote basically means like necessity is the mother of invention. So basically inventions and innovations, they take place, um, they take place as a result of the need of the people or what's going on. Inventions and innovations occur based upon the needs of the people or what is going on. All right, so we came here to sector one, and when we got to sector one, again, we talked about what the invention is. An invention is the act of creating something new that did not exist before. The first telephone was an invention. Okay, now we're going to talk about the word innovation. And so they have a picture of the cell phones because the cell phones are an example or is an example of innovation because it's the process of improving an idea, method, or product that is more useful to people. So again, one of the things that we can talk about as we look at these cell phones is they're not bulky anymore. To me, this is a bulky phone. All of these phones are bulky. All of these phones are bulky. And so by all of those phones being bulky, now when you look at phones, they always say they're sleek, which means they're, skinny and how they look. They talk about the cameras and stuff. So, but back then they didn't have it. We couldn't take pictures on our phones back then. I think I had a phone like this, like I'm just showing my age or whatever. Anyhow, so let's go on. Okay, so invention versus innovation. What are some unique characteristics of innovation? What are some common characteristics of intervention and innovation? And so what we did was at that time we created a Venn diagram, and in us creating that Venn diagram, these were some of the things that was put in there. So, and unique characteristics of intervention is it's a new process, it's a new product, it's a new service, it's a never before seen, never before done, and an original idea. Some unique characteristics of innovation is an improvement of an existing idea, an update to a product, makes a product better, adapts an existing invention to meet a new need, and it combines multiple ideas into one product. And so some of the things that they had in common, some of the characteristics that both inventions and innovations had in common includes it results in products, processes, or service. They both meet needs. They both solve problems. They both create businesses or jobs. It requires creativity, and then it uses the product design. So this is where we kind of started off or ended up almost. The innovative process will be the first steps in creating an intervention or innovation. And so one of the things we talked about is, first of all, you need a problem. You need a problem before you get to the point to where you can start with this invention or innovation. Next, I asked you guys, did y'all know any processes or methods? Some of the processes or methods that popped up, or some students said scientific method, um, design, design and engineer design process. Those were some of the ones that were talked about. And then we kind of start with our kitchen recipe, okay? And so when you do a kitchen recipe, it talked about you decide what you want to cook. I think our recipe was some type of pasta. I can't remember. Okay, pound cake. All right, so pound cake. I want to make a certain type of cream cheese pound cake. That's number one. Then I had to go find me a recipe for a cream cheese pound cake. I had to go find the ingredients, follow the recipe, taste the product, draw a conclusion. So conclusions for me: was the cake good? Was it moist? Those are the type of things. Then I'm gonna share my results. So then the next thing we have is the scientific method. All right. And some of you guys may be familiar with the scientific method, but basically with the scientific method, um, it uses observations and experiments to find logical answers to questions about the natural world. The scientific method begins with a testable question rather than a problem or need. So when you guys might have possibly did science experiments in elementary school, you guys used the scientific method. I know when my daughter, she was at Clark, this is what she used again for the scientific method. So, and I'm just going to give you an idea. She is a stickler for white teeth. So for her seventh grade project, she wanted to know what would make her teeth whiter. Would it be the strips, or would it be, I forgot the other thing we used. So for what she did, that was her question. Which is a better teeth whitening? And so she did some research. After she did some research, I think she said she felt like the strips would do whitening better. And then at that time, we conducted an experiment. Well, our experiment first involved us buying some dentures to whiten the teeth. To darken the teeth. So we bought some dentures and we soaked it in Coke. We soaked it in coffee, just things that we knew would stain the dentures. Once we stained the dentures, then that's when we started to add like the strips on, and we took pictures, and we did this for so many days, and that's how we collected our data. And so after we looked at it for so many days, then I think our hypothesis ended up being correct, that the teeth whitening did whiten your teeth better. But I kind of just went through quickly the scientific method. Next, we have the engineering design process. So with the engineering design process, it focuses on designing new products to solve problems or improve existing products. So you are seeing how these designs are different. The scientific method, again, it focuses on testable questions rather than a problem or a need. And then the engineering design process, it focuses on a new problem to solve or improve existing problems. And then lastly, we have the product design process. And so with the product design process, it is used to not only develop inventions or innovations, but it is to get them all the way to the market. So get there out there to us, the consumer, so we can buy it. Okay, and so you guys should be seeing some, differences between the different processes, between the scientific, engineer, product design process. Up, Darian. And then this was one that was new to me. I had never heard of the algorithm development steps. And so the purpose of this, technology companies like Amazon Web Services and Google, they use a different process because they're designing information technology, which is IT solutions, which depend on the development of algorithms online. So they use this, okay? So the people that use algorithm develop steps are going to be people like Amazon Web Services and Google, or somebody that's designing informational technology. Okay. All right. Let's see. This is slide two. Now, here at the center of innovation and invention and innovation, that's us. That's us. We are the center of innovation and invention. We're going to be using the product design, since our goal is to invent new solutions and to send them to the market. Now, I can't see so much what the online students are doing, but I could definitely see what, I could tell if you're like really truly paying attention to what's going on here. Keep in mind, you guys will have a major test after every kit. So we got about 3 more lessons, and then y'all gonna have a test on the whole entire kit. So it's gonna be important that you pay attention. All right, so we've gone in. So now we're gonna talk about famous inventors and innovators. Okay, so Thomas Edison is the father of invention and innovation. So here's a picture of Thomas Edison. He applied for his first patent in 1868. You guys know what a patent is? Okay, so Carlasia said that in patent is basically it's not so much a piece of paper, but basically let's just say I invented hand sanitizer. Well, with my patent, nobody can say that they made hand sanitizer. It's a way to protect your invention where someone can't say that, hey, I did the hand sanitizer too. Carlasia. Anywho, so that is what a patent is. So when you develop something, or you create something, or you invent something, you're immediately want to get a patent, so no one else will take credit for all your work. So again, it says he applied for his first patent in 1868 at the age of 21. Okay. So I want you guys to be paying attention to some of the things. Now, he was awarded 1,093 patents in the United States. So this tells me he has made a lot of things. But on the flip side, he was denied 500 to 600 patents for inventions, including the concrete cabinets and the talking dolls and an electric pen. Well, that's crazy. Because guess what? Don't we have talking dolls now? We have talking dolls, but he was denied this. So when he was trying to do the talking doll, I just believe that it was just before its time. Whoever approved the patent at the time didn't see the purpose of it. But then maybe years later, they did see. Well, actually, it says 75 years later, a doll named Chatty Cathy swarmed the market, an innovation of Edison's first invention. So basically, somebody made it better. So the name of it is Chatty Cathy. So you guys may want to, Google and see what Chatty Cathy looked like on your own time. Okay, now let's see. Now, one of his famous inventions is the light bulb. Edison is credited for inventing the light bulb, but his real invention wasn't, I'm sorry, but his real invention was the filament inside the light bulb. Okay. And so basically, I need you guys, do you guys know what of what was the filament inside of the bulb made of? Okay, so let me ask you guys this question. Do y'all know what the filament is? Does anybody know what the filament is? Okay, so Ariel said it's the inside of the light bulb. Charlie, do you have a comment? Okay, it makes the light bulb glow. Was that what you about to say?
Yeah, it goes everywhere and it could basically kill you.
Okay, so they saying the filament is the part of the light bulb that makes it light. And if it shatters, you know, it can be harmful to you. All right. So that's the filament. All right. But the filament is made of bamboo and carbon. So let's see what else it says. He purchased a patent to develop the idea from a Canadian inventors. And then it says the successful filament was a bamboo and carbon, which lasted for 1,200 hours. Okay. So his first invention was the light bulb, but in reality, he didn't create the bulb. He created the filament, which is what's inside of the bulb. And then I think this is maybe like, this is his patent. This is what it looks like. His drawing, his signature, the number. So that's a picture of a patent. All right, so let's look at sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. All right, so we've learned about one invention of Thomas Edison. So let's look at the second invention of Thomas Edison. And this invention by Thomas Edison is the phonograph. And so with the phonograph, Edison applied for a phonograph patent in 1877. He released a catalog containing information on the genuine Edison phonograph. Okay, and so on my side, it just says it was not an idea that he borrowed from someone else, like the light bulb. So I'm thinking maybe he got the light bulb example for someone else, but this one right here, I'm assuming that he truly came up with this invention by himself, especially based upon the information that's in here. Okay. So it's the phonograph here. Let's see, you have a picture of it. And so basically it says his signature. Okay. So I need to point out to you guys his signature. It looks like you see it several places. And so I'm told to tell you guys that every phonograph produced bore Edison's signature as a sign of authenticity. So basically, every last one of these photographs had his signature as a as proof. Hey, this is a real Thomas Edison phonograph, not like a knockoff. Okay, so that was a way for you guys to be able to understand. And it goes on to say this was important because many competitors adopted Edison's design and sold competing products. Yes, ma'am. What's that? Thomas Edison. No. What other man? When I talked about him. Oh. You talking about the chatty dog? The chatty, let me go back to Chatty Cathy. And we might look at Chatty Cathy in a little while. Okay, but I want to, make sure we get through this. All right. So this is again, and so this right here just talks about his prices. And so again that this came and it says every Edison photograph gears my signature without no machine is genuine. So basically he's telling you if it don't have his signature on there, it's not genuine. It's fake. Okay, so now we're on this particular page here. And so you guys you can click on a link and it says scroll to page 5. So can you guys click on the link? I don't know if you guys click on the link. I'm gonna click on the link and it says go to page 5. Okay, so page 5 is basically what y'all just saw on the other. I might say page 5. Oh, page 4, but let's go down a little bit more. All right, here we go. Let me see what I'm supposed to be seeing. Okay. So it talks about page 5, which is page 6. All right. And it says draw attention to the top left portion, which is this part right here. It goes on to say Edison had to be specific about his dimensions. So here are his dimensions of the phonograph displayed. Um, so basically, we want you to know that if the size of the phonograph was 8 by 3/4 inches and its base was 9 3/8 by 7 3/8, it was relatively small but heavy. Okay, it's relatively small but heavy, and so this is again a picture of it. So again, relatively small but heavy. So I guess I can click out of there. We're gonna go to our next page. Sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. Okay, so this is another famous innovation. So we're talking about it's a famous innovation, is not an invention. Sit up area. Do you ever sketch thoughts? Thomas Edison innovated the telegraph before he filed a patent for either the light bulb or the phonograph. Okay. So these again, or this again, this is the first of two innovations by him, the telegraph. So it's telling me that Edison did not start off as an inventor. I have a question. Let's see. Yes, Mariah.
I didn't mean to do that.
Okay. So it's telling us that he didn't start off as an inventor, rather he built upon ideas of others by making innovating products. The telegraph was Edison's first famous innovation, and it says like all other inventors, innovators, Edison sketched out his telegraph and was Edison's first famous innovation. So Edison sketched out the designs as shown on the image. So that's what you have in front of you. Okay, so there's a. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so here's another innovation for Thomas Edison. The telephone was originally patented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. 2 years later, Thomas Edison innovated the telephone with an improved carbon microphone. So Edison, he searched for problems or weak spots in an invention's design. Then he will work to solve the problems resulting in a new innovation. And so then they tell you a great example of this is the telephone. And it talks about how, again, Graham Bell was the inventor, but Edison made part of the phone responsible for transmitting better sound by the carbon transmitter. So again, because of the carbon transmitter, we now have better sound. And this is an example of his continual innovator, and he later improved on the design as well. I'm going to click on this hyperlink because I want to see where it's going to take us. Okay, so it's just some information about the telephone transmitter, and just talking about what else he had done to make the telephone better. Okay, now okay, so of course you have to write in your digital notebook. So in your digital notebook, record a brief summary of what you learned about Thomas Edison using the following questions. Who? What is one invention? One is one innovation? And what made Thomas Edison such a good inventor? Now I know y'all ain't remember. Y'all ain't remember. Okay. So I want you guys to open up your notebooks if you haven't already done so. It's about 15 minutes left in the class. So I'm not gonna tell you what to write or type, but I'll go back through them and I'll stop on the pages that have the answers to some of this, and then I'll give you guys 5 minutes. So if you guys have not already opened up your so let me see, I will go back to slide where it first talks about him. So I'm gonna go back to slide 65.
Miss Stanley.
Yes.
On who? Don't you put his name right there?
Okay, so it's asking you who he is. So tell me who he is. Tell me who Thomas Edison is. Because if I'm not mistaken, you have a picture of him. So it says, answer the following questions. I'm sorry. In your digital notebook, record a brief summary of what you learned about Thomas Edison. So who was Thomas Edison? So you're going to be typing down your first question. Who was he? That's your first question. Huh? It's Thomas Edison. What, sweetie? Hold on, I can't hear you. So I just wanted to stop recording.